Some things are just not meant for you, right? You're not a loser. Some things just aren't meant for you. So
like success.
So sometimes
You born to fail, bruh. Skid Row is waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
See you there, buddy.
Okay.
I guess we should start.
Let's get it.
Boom. What's going on? We are here with the Good Look Show. It's a show about life and giving insights about content, growing, improving, and how to be you in a world where it's hard to be true. I'm your host, Kris, and this is
Theon.
And today we are going to get into staying encouraged. So to me, staying encouraged is like how you stay motivated when you are going through a big change in your life or when you're trying to do something that's different than what you would usually do. So what is staying encouraged to you?
I think staying encouraged is staying motivated when things aren't going the way that you had hoped that they would go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think one of the hardest things for us as humans to do is to change. We're so used to staying in our comfort zone. We like to stay in our comfort zone. We like things that are familiar. So for us to, take that step to change, whether it be a career, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a new living situation, it's hard. So when you decide to make a change and you want to see, you make a change with the hopes of results, but it doesn't happen right away.
Facts.
That's when you need to stay encouraged.
100%.
You know?
100%. Like I know from experience with me, like I've been having to stay encouraged my whole life. My whole life I had to fight.
I had to, all my life I had to fight.
You know, having to overcome, become the overcomer, to overcompensate the underwhelming states that I had to embrace. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things, man, you know, so staying encouraged to me is just like, you just gotta stay positive, bro. Like, you gotta know it's gonna work out regardless of your situation. And sometimes it seemed impossible to stay encouraged in those moments, but those are moments when you really gotta like lock in.
Yeah. I have this conversation a lot actually with people, and I think it was something that I had to do with my career, and I'm sure with yours as well, but it's like you're making deposits without, being able to make any sort of withdrawals. You know when you get that check and you make that deposit and it says it'll be ready in the next 3 to 5 business days? And you're just like, but that's my money that I literally just deposited into my account. Why do I not have access to it right now? And I feel like that's
because usury.
So
look it up. Usury. Look it up. Usury. That's what it is. Look it up. Go ahead.
No, I need you to explain what
usury.
What is usury?
It's when they conspiracy theorists.
Okay.
Tinfoil mode.
Okay.
Usury is the old way that bank loans come from. It's what banks are based off. It's the idea you give your money to someone and they give it back to you. But in the meantime, the time you're waiting, they're investing your money to make more money. So it's like, if say you deposit $1,000 in the bank, you will get $1,000 back. But the bank, by the time you get the money, they make like 2,000. 1 point. You know what I'm saying? They already charged it. So it's like it's a net zero loss for them. But you gain some, but they gained like double.
I hear what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Usury.
Got you.
Usury, bro.
Okay. All right. Can we take our tinfoil hats off now?
We can, but I'm always ready, bro. I got lots of little conspiracies. Yeah, stay asleep. You know what I'm saying? The more you know, the worse it goes, man.
Okay.
Yeah, the more you know, the worse it goes. Come on, man. Stay asleep. Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. Oh my gosh.
Ignorance is bliss.
In certain situations, I believe that to be true, for sure. But no, it's like you make that deposit. It says, oh, it won't be ready for the next 3 to 5 business days, but you're like, but I made that deposit. I should be able to cash out right now. And I feel like the same thing sort of applies to whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it be a big career change, right? And it's just like, I put in the time, I put in the effort, I made all the sacrifices. Why am I not seeing those rewards right now?
Yeah.
And that's when you need to stay encouraged. And you just need to keep making those deposits, because at some point it's going to accrue and it's going to accrue and it's going to accrue interest as well. So that when you are able to make those deposits, when you least expect it, or make those withdrawals, that's when it really, really shows all the hard work that you did.
Yeah.
And you can cash out.
I guess that perspective though is like, it's always the hardest to make investments in yourself. Almost always. Because you don't see those returns immediately. like you saying.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're making those
absolutely.
deposits. You're making those deposits. You're making those deposits. But, you know, it's like going to the gym. You can go to the gym every day.
Facts. That's a great example.
And you will not see no results. Then one day you wake up and you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You a whole
You're just
unit.
like, oh,
yeah, I made the changes.
yeah,
but you don't see it incremental. You don't. It's
Yeah.
like overnight. It seemed like you just different.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
don't see all those deposits you made when
That's
you
true.
made the good decision.
But you stayed encouraged.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. Good looks.
Good looks.
You know, but it's hard to have that mind state like this is
Yeah.
going to pay off.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
got to stay positive. I got to lock in. I got to really just stay down.
Yeah,
And it's hard to stay down when you feel down.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. It's hard to stay down when you feel down.
No, I
But it's
get
like,
that.
you know, the idea that you got to lift yourself up by staying down. It's like, it's a contradiction.
Yeah.
But that's what you're doing. Like
Yeah.
you got to stay on the path and you will eventually go where you got to go. In my experience moving from across the country here, that was hard for me. Like, because I always lived in DC my whole life, never been nowhere else. Like I've been other places to visit,
Sure.
but I never lived nowhere else.
Yeah.
So it was like taking that plunge, that took a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of deposits, like I want to do it. And I would just get caught up in doing other things or relationships or responsibilities or trying to say, well, I just need to lock in for my career, XYZ. But in those moments, I always thought in the back of my mind, man, I should be doing something different. I should be doing something different. And it was hard to be like, man, I'm going to pull the trigger, especially leaving the situation I was in.
Yeah.
Because it was like I was at the top of where I could have been.
Yeah.
Like it was nowhere else for me to go. I reached my ceiling. And to be at the ceiling and realize, like, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere else and start at zero. You know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
At 30 plus?
It's hard. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm used to having things. Used to having my way. Nah, I can't.
And you know what's funny is that I'm used to having things as well, but I think both of us understand what it is to have nothing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So I think that there's a little less fear. And a lot of this is what that's governed by is fear, right? And I feel like something that I learned in college. There's like an umbrella for like the types of fear that we have. And the main types of fear that we have are the fear of success, the fear of failure, and the fear of what other people think. And they all sort of fall under the umbrella of like the fear of the unknown. Okay. Right? We fear what we just don't know or what we don't understand. And to be able to make that leap and leave a steady career and the life that you knew and the system that you knew in DC and come out to LA, which is completely unknown to you. You might have somewhat of an idea, you know, having visited or hearing from other people or seeing, you know,
Straight out of Compton,
Vanderpump Rules, like all that kind of stuff, you know.
What's that?
It's just another reality show based in Beverly Hills or in West Hollywood. Anyways, doesn't matter. Okay. But just watching that type of stuff, you have like an idea. Yeah. But to actually do it is a whole nother beast. So you not only have to conquer that fear, but you have to stay encouraged. That no matter what happens, you'll be able to apply the same principles and the same work ethic that you had in DC over here, and something will come out of it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I thought when I was gonna come out here, man, I thought I was gonna have to join a gang. And I was like, man, I don't know how that's gonna feel getting jumped in 30 plus. That seems crazy.
Getting jumped in 30 plus.
Because it's only two ways you join a gang. You get sexually assaulted in, gang style, or you gotta get jumped in. I was like, man, I don't know if I could take that, so I'd rather get beat up than beat up. You know what I'm saying? So, or beat up than punish. You know what I'm saying? So there's. So I was like, man, I don't know if I'm prepared for that, but I still made the move.
What are we talking about?
And then, you know, I thought I was going to come out here and get robbed, man. I was like, because you hear the stories, people come out here and get robbed.
For sure.
Taken advantage of. You can't go certain places. And it's like me, you know, how I just be going on adventures. Like, man, I'm just going to drive over here. Yeah. I drive to the wrong place, wrong time, so I might not drive out.
But again, I think you coming from Southeast DC, you're not oblivious to the fact that there you know, these things happening out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different way of operating for sure, but you're not naive into being like, you know, oh, I'm gonna go into the worst parts of town and not be watching my back, or you know 100%. What I mean?
Yeah. Because I you know, we got Mike. You know, he was in Compton for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, he invited me, and I immediately just thought of a joke from. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but every time he said Compton, he said Compton. Compton. I remember he said that. I was like, man, I'm not going to Compton. What are you talking about? I'm going over there. I'm in Redondo Beach. I'm in a nice area. I like where I'm at. You know, I feel safe. I'm the predator. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the prey. I'm where you at, man. I might end up food, man. I don't know. I like to wear my thing. I want my clothes. You know, I want to wear my watches. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know, and I just couldn't figure out what to do. But then, you know, I went over there, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's piece you gotta get over. Like your perception of something could be a lot worse than what the reality is. But you gotta put yourself in it. You gotta be like able to put yourself in that space to be like, yo, I'm gonna experience this and let this manifest how it's gonna manifest. And in that moment, you be like, oh, okay, it wasn't even that bad. And I feel like that goes back into like staying encouraged. Like you gotta really be like, okay, it's not gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. And that's the conversation I had with myself when I flew over here with just my backpack. That's it. I was like, it's not gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. It's not gonna be that bad. And the whole time I'm like, oh my God, risk aversion. Risk aversion. This is a big risk. This is a big risk. And you know, I ain't had no job, no prospects, nowhere to live. It was bad. It was all bad. It was all bad. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you took a leap of faith. Sure. And just like you said, it's a full circle, right? It's not just your perception of your environment, but it's also your perception of yourself within that environment. And I think so many times we get so caught up in our own head thinking like, oh, you know, like I know what I want and I can see myself sort of there, as hard as it is sometimes. But then you get in your head and you're just like, man, maybe I'm not cut out for that. You know what I mean? Or maybe I'm only meant for this level of stuff, you know? And then that's where you stop being encouraged and you stop achieving for more because you get in your own head and you're just like, oh, you know, some people just aren't meant to win, you know? And maybe I'm one of those people. It's like, no, like everybody wins at some point. Every dog has their day. They do. Every dog has their day.
Not true.
Who doesn't have their day?
Some people are just born losers.
No. Some people, listen. Some people are born to lose. Like there has to be a loser. There does. There just has to be.
Okay.
But they don't lose all the time.
Nope. There's some people just born losers.
And listen. It's all a mindset, my guy. Listen. It's all a mindset, right? Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you, if I said I can give you $1 million right now, would you take it?
That's a vague question.
It's not a trick question. It's not a trick question. Straight up, $1 million. I had $1 million right now, and I was like, "Do you want $1 million?" I'll give it to you. Do you want it?
Yeah, I'll take $1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you the same question again, but this time, I'm going to give you this $1 million, but that means that you don't wake up tomorrow.
I'm gonna die. Hold on. What you mean by wake up? I'm in a coma.
Either way.
No, it's different. Because if I got $1 million, I could transfer my mind into a computer and I'll be awake. So if you
don't wake up tomorrow like you're dead.
Oh no, I ain't taking it.
Okay, so that tells me that you value you being able to wake up more tomorrow than money.
Yeah.
Exactly. So why not take that viewpoint every day? So that's why I'm saying everybody has an opportunity to win. You win every day that you wake up.
Oh,
that's already a win.
Nah, man, you old wellness type.
That's already a win. Is it not?
I guess. And that
is it not?
If that's your perspective, be a millionaire and be dead tomorrow. I mean, but at the same time, what if you would crash out? Like, what if you just like want to really go crazy? One, it's a song, 24 Hours to Live, DMX, Jay-Z, and Jadakiss. What if you had 24 hours to live? What would you do? All the rappers talk about robbing banks, killing their enemies, selling drugs.
Enemies.
It was bugged out. Like, this is one of my favorite songs. Like, what if you had 24 hours to live? What would you say? What would you do? Would you be with your crew? Like, it's fire. And that song, I remember I heard that when I was like, I want to say 14, 15. I used to think about that for a long time, like, cause you know,
and they would all just crash out.
Yeah, but some of them would try to take as many of their enemies with them as they could, but then some people would try to put stuff in place for their family. So I remember I thought about that a lot, because I remember at the time when I was like 13, 14, 15, people was getting killed over coats, going to the wrong train station. It was different. Sure. So I was like, I had that mentality, like, dog, something could happen to me. I want to make sure I at least did something good.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, with that perspective, it make you change things. But I still feel like what I said, my original statement, some people just born losers, man. It's like they wasn't meant to win.
Give me an example. Anybody, either like somebody in the public eye or like somebody that we know personally.
I don't know if I know right. I don't think I associate with losers, man. So, so I wouldn't say anybody I know personally is a born loser. I only know winners, man. And if I'm with somebody, I know somebody that's in my circle and they ain't won yet, it's because they ain't won yet. It's not they a loser. So that's different. You know what I'm saying? But some people born losers, bro. Like you born, you a crackhead father. What's the
difference between a loser and someone that just hasn't won yet?
The born losers don't even try to win.
How are you born a loser? You were just born. You're born into a world of opportunity. So how are you born a loser?
God don't love you, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
God don't love you. God love you. That's how I took the leap of faith. I know God love me, man. He's gonna work out, man.
You're saying some people came out the womb and God was just like,
hey,
nah,
man, you snuck on Earth, man. You snuck on Earth. It was crazy. It was
You
quiet for you.
snuck on Earth.
Yeah, it's quiet for you. You wasn't supposed to make it. Yeah, you born with an IUD in your hand. You was crazy. It was all bad. You know what I'm saying? The plan B turned to plan C. You saw the light. What we talking about? Hey, man, what we talking about, bro? Yeah, stay encouraged, man. But some of y'all, man, it's no hope for you, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? Just go Skid Row is waiting for you, bro.
Golly day. No. Okay. All right. I will say, not that there's born losers or that there are people that are only solely here just to lose, but I do agree that there are some people that aren't meant for certain things. Okay. I will agree with that.
Okay. In what aspect?
In like, speaking from my own experience and people reaching out to me all the time about like modeling, right? It's like, oh, Theon, you know, put me on. Like, how do I get into modeling? Da 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 da. And for some of them, I straight up am just like, don't. Like, and okay.
Why?
For some of them, I'm just like, okay, you have a solid 9-to-5 job, like a good career. You have a good career, you know. No, listen to what I'm saying. You listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. I already know where it's going. You have a good career.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But you see me or you see other people that are doing this and it looks fun and we're traveling and we're meeting cool people and we're getting free stuff and we're getting paid good money, you know, all this. You see that and you think, oh, I can do that too. Because one person told me that I looked good the other day. You know what I'm saying? And they run with that. Or because people their whole life have been telling, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But some people are just not meant for it.
Okay.
Some things are just not meant for you, right? You're not a loser. Some things just aren't meant for you. So
like success.
So sometimes
you born to fail, bro. Skid Row is waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
See you there, buddy.
Okay.
Hey, you were born to miss, sis. I'm sorry.
That's another tough conversation because it's just like you see all these people that are struggling, the homeless, especially out here in LA, and
unhoused.
Okay. Displaced.
Yeah, exactly.
Displaced.
Hey, what's that? Property challenge.
Property challenge.
Come on,
man. Asset lacking. You see it, and you wonder sometimes, like if they were given an opportunity or they were given a clean slate, what would come about their lives? And for some of them, you know, you're just like, oh yeah, they'd be okay. And for some of them, they probably end up right back where they are. Unfortunately,
I would say most of them, because I feel like for the city, for example, I work for the city. Yeah. I'm gonna be candid. I work for the city, so I got inside knowledge about how certain stuff work. LA got one of the best homeless programs in America. All you gotta do is not do drugs. Do you not smoke drugs for a day to qualify?
Listen, drugs are a hell of a thing, my guy. They are a hell of a thing.
I'm sorry. I ain't even mean to curse. Listen, smoke dust, be homeless. I think I'm gonna stop smoking dust. So I don't gotta be homeless.
Some people don't make that connection though. Some people don't, and that's the other thing. People don't make connections. Certain things don't correlate to other things for people. They're just like, oh no, this is its own separate thing. This is its own. It's like nah. Like once you're able to bridge that gap, then maybe. But a lot of people aren't able to do that.
The whole time, who stayed more encouraged than crackheads?
That they're going to get their next fix?
Yes, they always encourage. They know they're going to get it. They like, I'm only one hustle away, one grift away. I'm going to get that. And by the end of the day, they got it. We got to believe in yourself like crackheads believe in themselves.
That's a win.
I can't call that a win.
Is it not?
I can't call it.
That's a win, no?
I don't like it.
So then they're not. So then they're not a born loser.
It's nasty. It's nasty win. It's nasty win. I don't like it. Nasty one. You smoking?
To them, it's a win.
Yeah, to them, it's a win. And when their world of losing.
I agree. I think that's.
It's an ill to anybody who's successful.
Yeah.
But if you want to call it,
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but also
perspective.
But my bad. Let's also go back to your modeling conversation. That was hilarious. You said some people you just look at them and just tell them you got a 9 to 5.
Okay.
Stay with it. Like I like that. That was hilarious.
No. Some of them, it's not that I look at them and I'm just like, from their looks, you have a 9 to 5. You should stick with that.
Yeah, you like you got a face for radio.
No, I didn't say all that either. But what I am saying is that it does, especially in the creative space, it takes, and I hate using this because it's so vague, but it takes an X factor, right? And not everybody has that. Sometimes you can build up to that, but I think a lot of people are sort of born with an X factor. And I think that some people that have approached me over the years talking about they want to do some modeling, having known them for years, lack that X factor for this particular thing. So,
talk more about that. I think that's a good point, like a point, what's they call it, a tipping point. Like that thing that pushes you over the edge. I think that's what you're talking about.
I think it's having a realistic view of yourself. I think
X factor?
Yeah, understanding if you have it or not. No?
I don't know. I feel like X factors are intangible. I don't think it's something that you can quantify. Okay.
But you can tell if someone has an X factor. Like you're able to go out and see a group of people, right? And out of the group, you're able to look and just be like, oh, that person's got it.
Yes, but it's intangible. You can't make that assessment off a quantifiable statistic. You just feel it.
Can you feel that you have your own X factor?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying having being self-actualized enough to be able to see, like, if you yourself have an X factor that applies to something that you want to go into.
So, okay, this was a good example. I remember I was having this conversation literally yesterday about the thing that made me like wrestling was the personalities.
Professional wrestling?
Yes,
okay.
Like WWF, not WWE.
Okay.
F, like when it was wild.
Yeah.
So like I remember when I first saw The Rock in second grade, I knew it was like The Rock had it. And the it thing was something I identified because I wanted it for myself. And I feel like that's who I'm always been drawn to. I have a compulsion to meet people that have something that I don't have that I want for myself. Do you see that? And I feel like that's what I'm able to identify. Like if I'm talking to somebody.
Well, I think that's most people though. That's most people.
But I feel like the thing that makes it an X factor is that it's not the idea that you want to be like this person, but it's the person, it's aspirational. It's like, you can meet a group of people, like you say, let's take it back to the example, less famous people, regular people.
Okay.
You meet somebody, it's a group of people, you don't know what they do. Somebody say, oh, I want to be a DJ.
Okay.
Okay, and you talking to them. So what are you doing to be a DJ? Oh, it's just something I want to do. You talk to another person, they say they want to be a DJ. It's the same group. I want to be a DJ. What you doing? Oh, I'm taking classes. Okay. Then you meet the third person. Let's say it's only 3 people. Meet the third person. Third person say, oh, I want to be a DJ. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm studying music. I got records. I've been practicing. I got the setup. I feel like that's the X factor. You got one person that's talking about it, one person that's studying, and then the one person that's just actively doing it. That's the thing I'm talking about that sets you apart. Like just to instinctively, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do this thing, even if I don't know. You was a model. You wanted to be a model. What did you do, bro?
I didn't want to be a model. That's the thing, though.
Let's take it. Okay.
And there were people telling me that knew that I was going to be a model before I even knew it.
Bro, we had a conversation during RMC, and I remember you expressed to me that you was unsure about it.
Because I think I had just gotten signed.
You hadn't gotten signed yet.
Did I not?
This was before that. Me and you had a conversation.
We did RMC 2000.
This is in Roper.
2012?
11. This is in Roper, the summer. And me and you had a conversation. You was like, man, I'm thinking about modeling. And I remember I pulled you to the side. I was like, bro, you handsome, bro. And at the time, we didn't even talk like that. And I said that. I was like, bro, you just handsome, bro. You could do it. All you gotta do is stop dressing like you dress. How'd you dress at the time? T-shirt, basketball shorts, sweatpants.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. If anybody has pictures of me from high school or college, they need to be deleted and burned immediately.
No, they don't. That's your foundation.
They are bad.
They're not bad.
They are bad. Sidebar.
But they're not bad. That's who you are. It's like because you can meet somebody. Like I said, you had the X factor. You got it. I was like, bro, you could do it.
Yeah, even in that squalor, I still.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But I was like, and that's what I was trying to say. Like you could see the intent. Like
it was aspirational for you. You saw me and you saw The Rock.
No. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
I'm somebody that pour into people. If somebody, I feel like that's my.
I get it. It's all good.
I feel like my relationship to people is that I've always poured into people. So, in that moment, you expressed to me a moment, and we didn't even talk like that. That's why I'm trying to make this example. And I was like, and pouring into you, like, bro, you can do it. All you got to do is just take some photos. And what did you do next?
But what I'm saying, though, is that you saw that as well as other people saw that without me
knowing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you had it in the back of your mind. It was swimming. You ain't know what to do.
The idea.
Yeah, but you ain't know what to do. And then when somebody just said, take some pictures.
But what I'm saying is, though, you just knew, though.
Yeah.
You just knew. In your scenario that you just explained, you had gotten enough backstory from these people to then be able to deduct, oh, okay, you have the X factor because you're putting in the work and you have. I hadn't even gotten to that point yet.
But the moment someone told you all you got to do is take pictures, you was taking pictures. That's the difference.
So it wasn't the fact that I was just good looking. You knew that I had
You
good
have
work
stick-to-itiveness. You have it. You always in the gym. When you set your mind to do something, you do it. So I know all you need is a nudge. Somebody, you can do this, bro. Just take pictures. You never know what's the worst that could happen. That's the difference.
I hear what you're saying.
And then go back to being born losers. If you was a born loser, you be like, oh no, I don't need that. Ain't no one to do that. You're like, that's what I'm saying. That limiting.
I hear what you're saying.
That's the little thing. Oh man, my mom beat me up. I can't achieve. Oh, my father, he punched me in the mouth.
Finding excuses.
Yeah, like that don't matter, bro. You got people really out here down bad, still making it way.
I hear what you're saying.
That's what you got that X factor.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. And I think in a sense that can be viewed as being a born loser because it doesn't matter what situation you're in. You're going to find some excuse, find some reason, find something that's keeping you from being the person that you want to be.
Yes.
Or achieving what it is that you want to achieve.
Yes.
Versus the people that no matter how down bad they are, they're going to find a way. Or they're going to keep trying no matter how many times they lose or get kicked down or whatever, rejected, So okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying.
When I watched Pokemon at second grade, the song went, I want to be the very best that no one ever was. That became a mantra for my life.
Did it?
Whatever.
I think it became a mantra for everybody.
But you had to see it. Like I really locked. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
In my situation, how I grew up, I was like, I gotta be the best. It can't be no. Nah, I gotta stay focused. One thing. It could be all over. I could be stuck here. No. No. I gotta go. I gotta get out of here.
Well, then to that conversation, how do you feel like people get out of their own way then? If you think that they can.
I think that I think everyone can get out of their own way. Because you could be a born loser and get out of your own way and have marginal success. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like some people born losers because
how?
I'm getting to it. Okay. That's my preface. The way I feel like you get out
preface?
of
It was preface.
What
is it? Preface? Yeah. Okay.
DCPS. Shout out to DCPS. My preface. My epilogue. my
epilogue. Yeah.
My prologue.
Yeah. My prologue.
Yeah, prologue.
Yeah. My prologue.
But yeah, that's my preface, man. You got, I'm trying to, my bad, let me get back to the point. I think the way you get out of your own way is you got to realize how you see yourself is not where you're going to be. It's not where you are, it's where you at. That's a line that Rakim said. And I get a lot of little gems from rap and pop culture when I was growing up. I needed that type of stuff.
Break that down. It's not where you are, it's where you at.
So it's like where you are is physical, but where you're at could be somewhere totally different.
Okay.
So it's like I always saw myself somewhere else. I remember we used to get into situations, me and my brother walking around, moving around the neighborhood, and I used to tell people all the time, I'm going to college. I didn't know what college was. I didn't know how I was going to get there. I just knew I was in college. I was college bound.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. That's a belief that I had. I'm going to college. No matter what. I knew if I made it to college, I'm going to be successful.
Yeah.
It ain't like today. You going to college, brother, you're going to be a barista. It's done. It's done. You're going to be working at Starbucks. 10 out of 10 with your sociology degree. It's over, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You got an anthropology degree. You might as well work at the store, bro. You can get a degree anyway. That's where you're going to be at anyway. Like, it don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be working in retail. So anyway, point being, I always had that in my mind whenever a situation came up, like, oh man, Kris, you got to go do this. I would think to myself, I'm going to college. Actually, I can't do that if I want to go to college.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? Getting out of my own way. Oh man, I can stay up and play the game all night, or I can work on my drawings. I'm going to college. I should work on my drawings. You see what I'm saying? So I had a goal in my mind that I had just locked onto, and that was my guiding light. Whenever I was doing something crazy or something popped up, I remember in 7th grade, I got propositioned to go over some girl house, and I could have went, didn't go. I'm going to college. I'm going to college. I was like, I don't think I should be going over this girl house, man. I got to go to college. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like the amount of people I know that had teen pregnancy, that derails your whole life.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's like that. Like you be on track. And then I grew up with some people, they was on track and then they just pregnant. Whole life flipped up. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing. So it's like, I got to stay down. I got to get to college. So it's like a lot of stuff I did in my life I didn't do till I got to college because that was my goal. I know where I grew up, how I grew up, people I grew up around. I run into people in my neighborhood. Like if I used to move around the city with whoever I was with. They'd see people that know me. They'd be like, Kris, you know that person? I'm like, yeah, I went to school with them. And they'd be like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, I keep telling you I grew up around crazy people. They were crazy, like real like gangsters, like real gangsters, mob, like killers. Yeah. And people see me like, oh, Kris, you're so happy-go-lucky. Yeah, had to be. Had to be. Yeah. It was different. Yeah. So, and I feel like that's how you get out your own way. You set your goal and you just keep measuring yourself against that goal. How close is this going to bring me closer to it or it's going to move me back? Yeah. And that's how I do stuff. When I'm rapping, I ain't know how to rap. Nobody could teach you, especially back in the day. It wasn't like a YouTube like that. You just had to practice. Yeah. I'm sitting down writing raps. It don't even make sense. I still got my raps, some books. I got those books.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it. You gotta. I want to do this. I'm gonna do it until I'm good at it. But it's like you gotta be. That's my X factor.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's people
I hear
don't.
what you're saying.
People that know me know that. Like if you tell Kris to do something and you tell him how to do it, he will do it. That most people not like that. You give me the game. I'm going. You play the game. Like you give me a map. I'm going to walk. I'm going to go take the route. Like you know what I'm saying. You can't tell me how to be successful and I'm not going to be successful. That don't make sense. And I feel like most people, you can give them the game. You can tell them exactly what to do, and they still won't do it.
Yeah. There is no try. You either do or you don't.
Facts.
Right. And I think that's what that applies to getting out of your own way.
Yes.
Either you're going to or you're not. There's no secret sauce. There's no secret formula. You know, a lot of people look at celebrities and it's really easy, I think, especially people coming from where we come from, to look at people that either if nepotism is involved or that have had all the right things set in place for them to be able to succeed, and for us to get down bad on ourselves and be like, you know, man, like I didn't have all that coming up, and I didn't have da-da-da-da. I had to fight for the little bit that I got, and da-da-da-da-da-da. Or to stay in that same space, you know, and not achieve anything or not try to break out of it because of the situation that you were born into or whatever the case may be. And that's same for you. It's the same thing for a lot of people in my hometown. There was so much potential of people coming out of my hometown. Athletes, scholars, you know, just, you know, entertainers, whatever the case may be, that got pregnant young, or wound up in drugs, or just nothing, or they're just back home, just doing the same thing they've been doing since we were there. And they look at me and they're just like, oh, I just saw you on this ad, or I just saw you on da-da-da-da-da, and they're just like, man, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I'm just like, I just did it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no,
people don't appreciate that when you say that though. They do. They think you being like funny.
Yeah. Or you're like gatekeeping.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. It's like, no, I'm not. There's no secret sauce to it. You just do it.
Put in the time.
Exactly.
Put in the time.
Exactly.
And it's, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, me and my brother had these conversations, survivor's remorse. Like, you made it. And it's like, but I didn't know. It's like, to me, it's like, I ain't made it. It's like, no, you made it. Like, I talk to people, like, you made it, Kris, you doing so good. It's like, but I could be doing way better.
Yeah.
But that's you're made it to somebody else.
Yeah.
It could be you were doing baseline for you.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's to go back and stand and encourage, like, I got so much more that I could get. So much other higher I could reach. But it's like having that mentality, especially today sometimes, it seems like that's frowned upon. That you want the most for yourself. You want the best for yourself. And now I feel like that's the dumb part. Like, what you mean it's bad for me to want the most for myself? It's bad for me to want to try. What world that makes sense where it's bad to try?
Yeah.
There's so many people that go, wait, well, how would you even do that? Because I want to try. I like trying. Like, what's going to happen? Like, you want to be regular, be regular. I don't see myself as regular.
Be regular.
Yeah, I don't want to be regular. I see myself as extra. Like, Kris, you do a lot. Yeah, I do the most. What you talking about?
Yeah.
Always.
Because I want the most.
Yeah, I'm on 10. I'm always on 10.
Absolutely.
I wake up, I'm on 10. I am on 10. The sun, I used to say this all the time. I wake up, the sun, Kris, you seem like such a morning person. As soon as the sun hit my eyes, I'm awake. I'm ready. But life is ready. Let's get after it. Let's get after it.
Yeah.
But it's like, to have that mentality always is the thing. Like, you gotta stay encouraged.
And it goes back to what we said in the very beginning. It's just like you said, you're giving 110% because you want to receive back 110%. You keep giving 50%, you're going to get back 50%.
100%, and that's 100%.
And that's 100.
That's 100%. Right? You know what I'm saying? You give it 50, you don't get 50. That's 100%.
Encouraged.
Man, you got
Stay encouraged.
Good looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that mentality, that limiting self-belief. You gotta get rid of that. Like, whatever you want to do, whatever endeavor. Like, it could be something small. Like, you want to start a clothing brand. Yeah. There's 1,000 clothing brands. Yeah. That shouldn't stop you from starting yours, though. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the mentality you gotta have. Like, mine is going to make it. Mine is going to work. Like, I was watching this little video about Burner. He used to sell weed or something like that. He used to be Wiz Khalifa weed guy or something. Okay. And he started his brand Cookies. Okay. And everybody was like, okay. And then his Cookies brand kind of went down because he was selling weed for super expensive or something like that. That was the brand. But now he's selling Pearl. Okay. And they was like, well, he was like, man, I'm just going to take my last little 15. He had $15,000 he got from his mom dying or something like that. I hope I'm telling the story right. He took that money, made some hoodies, and sold them and just had the Cookies brand on it. And they sold out in the first 10 minutes. And it's like, it's a million apparel brands out there. But his is one of the ones that's moving. It didn't stop him from thinking, well, if people already make hoodies, people already do this. Like, it didn't stop him. That wasn't the belief he had. He said, I'm gonna invest my last little bit into this. AKA, I'm gonna give my everything to this and see what come back. That's what you gotta have. Like, if you, whatever you want to do, give it Give it 100%.
Yeah.
Because at least if it don't work out, at least you know you gave it 100.
Exactly.
As opposed to like, well, I only gave it 50, I gave it 60, give it 100. See what happened.
Yeah.
Because typically it work out.
Yeah.
Unless you're a born loser. That ain't gonna work out
Unless you're
anyway.
a born loser.
It ain't gonna work out anyway, man. You're gonna fail. You'll fail with everything. Everything you do gonna turn to dust. You hear me? So, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. It's just you gotta
get out of your own way.
Yeah, stay encouraged, bro.
Absolutely.
That's the episode, man. Check back in next week. We're gonna have another episode of y'all, you know what I'm saying, with more good looks. You know, notice I pointed at him. You know, good looks pointing my mind, you know. But yeah, bro. That's the episode. See y'all next week.